All right, y'all, a bit of maintenance for you here. I feel like it's been mostly all camper build stuff and not maintenance. So here's what I have right now is the AC refrigerant has been leaking. I noticed this in the winter. And so we're getting ready to maybe take a trip in August to Rehoboth Beach, and you know, there's no AC right now. I was gonna go get a vacuum pump and vacuum this out before taking this apart, but I realized that there was zero refrigerant in it. I released the needle valve on the high side and nothing happened, so I knew it was empty. So yeah, the plan is I have the O-ring to put on this one that was leaking, and then I have to go to the hardware store or whatever, the auto parts store, and pick up the, I want to still evacuate the system if there's anything left in there, and then recharge it. Never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, let me just get this O-ring on there. Get a little of this on the O-ring. Oh. Make sure it's even. I'll slide it back in and bolt it in. But I did find out that my low pressure side, the valve core was bad. And after I took off the things, it would suck in air. So I'm gonna replace both valve cores, I think. And then with a full oil on here, run a suction for another hour or two. And see what it looks like. All right, I think you're gonna hear it whistle. I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, it's sucking air in. First, I guess I'll just try to tighten it. Oh. Yeah, that's super tight. So let's just try to replace it. Again, there's no refrigerant at all in this system, so I don't need to, it's already purged. There we go. Looks fairly okay. Oh no, that spring is shot. For sure that spring is shot. Okay, cool. Oh, I don't think this is gonna work. This is way different. way different. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, this is the old one. Totally shot. And luckily, a different advanced. Now I'm hitting all area auto parts stops. So yeah, this one, the advanced by my house had it. The one by my work did not. Or it might have. I didn't ask for it though. I didn't know what I needed. Just trying to reverse thread it, catch the threads. There we go. I'm so nervous. Nice and tight. Oh, it clicked on! You can see the compressor is running. It is taking refrigerant. Initially the compressor kicked on and then popped the fuse. So I put a 15 amp fuse in there now instead of the 10 amp fuse, and it's running. Dang it. And I keep blowing the fuse. But it's blowing really cold. All right, so a little snag. So I just recharged it a few days ago, and you'll see, but the compressor keeps blowing the fuse. I thought that might have been because of the low refrigerant that's always been in it. But I believe after just like trying to diagnose it, I'd like tested some of the wiring, and the wiring looked good. The belt's good, it's tight. Every time the compressor kicks on, it blows the fuse. So it's sending like 30 amps through the cable. And so I believe it's the coil in here that's shorting out whenever it kicks on. So I actually have a new compressor on order. I just got back from the mechanics, and he just purged the system for me and vacuumed it out. So the compressor should be here in a few days. I'm gonna pop off the whole bracket. It looks like probably the easiest. Looks like there's 3 bolts on the bracket. So I'm gonna start PB blastering those for a few days till I have to do the work. But also a little fun surprise is, can we get in there? This bracket. So this, like, these 2 bolts here and that little thing. I think this to keep the wire off of everything. This bracket snapped off, so you can see that clean metal, and then right here by that bolt it's been rubbing. So the same mechanic has been hooking me up, man. I was gonna give him a shout out in this video for sure. But But he's gonna weld this back together for me, so this will be in place, ready to go. And so I'm gonna drain the coolant right now and take off that, and I'm gonna drop it off to him first thing in the morning. So that's this little aspect of it. So, and this will give me a little bit more access to work on this compressor too. All right, I got those off. I was like, oh, that's gonna be so easy. Yeah, let's pop that thing right off. But I forgot that these have been on there for 30 years probably. So it was a little bit of wrestling with between this little thing on my Leatherman to break them free, and then I don't know where I put it, but my little channel locks just to working them loose. But yeah, this is the piece sheared off right here, and it bolts right here, and it kind of like faces down and holds the two lines right in place. So I did a lot of research, and I think this NPR compressor should fit. I just got it back from the mechanic, and they evacuated, but I did. So a little practice. Here's round 2. All right, so thought I could do it without removing the driver's seat, but could not. So what I just did was undo the tensioner pulley, or the adjustment pulley. So I'm gonna remove the whole bracket, and there's 3 bolts. It looks like 2 bolts here, 1 bolt there, 1 bolt down there, and then there's looks like a stud up here behind these hoses. Hard to get on camera right now, but there's a little stud back there that holds. So I guess that just puts it in place, bolt it down with a nut, and then these 2 bolts through here, I think, are the only 3. So I'm gonna remove the whole thing actually, and then these soft lines, I'll have a little bit of room to do the back part. All right, well, you can't see it from the camera angle, but it's top bolt right here. I got the 2 bolts here below it done. They came out like super easy. So I'm really hoping that this 3rd one is all good too. Oh yeah, beautiful. Oh yeah, you already see it moving. All right, let me actually try to see if I can hold this. Oh God. Moment of truth to see how this lines up in the back. It looks just the same though. Oop. All right, now to remove the bracket. All right, bracket orientation is good, just like that. A little tight. Okay, that one's lined up. What's a little bit off about this one? All right, I'll snug these up, and then we'll try to load it up. All right, now the bit of a doozy is attaching the Freon lines. Oh, don't want to leak oil. To this. Well, it's charged with oil, that's good. All right. I haven't even truly tested these yet either. Good fit. All right, it fits in there. Here's your the AC compressor pulley tensioner. So yeah, you just tighten this down, pulling the pulley towards you to tighten the belt. So we're getting pretty tight, and then this is the lock nut So once you get it tight enough to where you want it, just tighten this down. All right, before moving along, I want to get this coolant line back on. So yeah, here's the bracket that he welded on for me. And it mounts right here to the AC compressor bracket. And again, I figured that, I noticed that when I was really in here investigating. So yeah, time to get this on. Okay, so next day, I'm gonna add this Dorman connector. So I need to cut down this a little bit and then connect these pigtails. But I'm gonna trim it all up a little bit so there's less wire. Okay. All right, time to get this thing moving again. So now it's filling it with coolant. Forget how I did this last time. I think being on this side and filling it was easier. Running. So yeah, I'm just trying to suck down some more of this coolant. Get all the air out. All right, so I got it way up to pretty much the boiling point. Coolant up to the top. All right, so now it isn't completely installed. The belt is tight. Now we have to start the vacuum and make sure it's not leaking from the compressor and to suck out all the moisture that we let in while we did this job. So this is just one bolt down there and 3 easy to remove clips. Glad I didn't break it when I said that. So I got both gauges hooked up to the high and the low, low and the high. These gauges are closed. So now I'm going to start the vacuum and then open the top gauges. Where's the little switch on this? Okay, so you hear the pump change once I hit it. All right, so now to see if it's going to hold the vacuum, close the gauges and turn the pump off. And I'm right at -29 here, so that's what we're going to watch. So I'm going to eat dinner and come back in an hour. All right, so we're about to do this. So my setup here, 2 cans of refrigerant. So this takes about like 21 and a little bit ounces of refrigerant. Gauges are holding good. I did the vacuum. So this scale, once I get the second can going, I need to take out about 9 ounces from the second can. So I'll weigh it with this on there and wait till it drops down to 9 ounces. So first things first, both my gauges are off in the off position. So I can undo the yellow line, and I need to tap a can. All right, so before I put the needle back down on the can, I'll attach the yellow hose, put my safety glasses on. All right, I can see it filling the can up, or the line. All right, that's good. So that's with the line and everything on there, it's 19.2. So I'll just get that down to 10 ounces for the second can, and that'll be good. All right, so now need to purge the line. And somebody told me it's best to hold it upside down to get the liquid to come out, so you know for sure. So okay, refrigerant. The air is purged out. All right. Extremely nervous here. So right now the AC's off. I'm going to start the car, let it run for a little bit, turn the AC on and the fan on low, and then start adding the refrigerant out there. Okay. Cold blowing there. Oh no. Okay. I guess I have to have the fan on without the light off. So that's good that it has power. I'm just gonna keep it on low for right now because I'm nervous. All right, the AC is on low and compressor has power. So now to start adding this slowly. Open. I see the refrigerant going in. Oh, it kicked on! Woo! All right, it kicked on, and it's not blowing the fuse, and it's only at 2 amps. That's amazing. Still running. It's working so far. I just need to keep putting the refrigerant in. All right, so this job is done finally. Whew. It was a pretty hectic fix actually, and I thought I did it twice, and then I had to revisit. So all in all, here's what happened. So this compressor was always shorting out, but I didn't really know what it was. I thought that it was like a refrigerant level thing, and I thought it was a belt thing. So when I first got it, I replaced the belts, and I tried to recharge, just like spray some refrigerant in there, and it would work. It would blow the fuse every once in a while, and I put a reset fuse in there, like an automatically resettable fuse, and then a fuse that was too big. But then I was like, I don't feel good about that, so I stopped using the AC altogether. But we're about to take this trip down to Rehoboth Beach tomorrow night. We're leaving. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been scrambling and trying to fix the AC. So all in all, what sparked this too, over the winter, I saw one of the junctions in the condenser was leaking. So I knew that was all, that there was no refrigerant in it. So I pulled that line, replaced the O-ring, attached it, rented a vacuum and a manifold gauge from O'Reilly's, pulled a vacuum on it. To me, it seemed like it was holding vacuum. Then I used that manifold gauge to recharge the system to the best of my ability. And I got Freon in there. And then I was trying to, when I was trying to recharge it, the AC kicked on, blew the fuse right away. I went through like almost 10 fuses trying to recharge it. And I was like, all right, that's not good. So I went online, my online digging, and I found this compressor, which is for like the 90s NPR 3.9 liter Isuzu. And it has like 8 total bracket points. And because you need the ones on this side of the compressor. The other ones I was finding online were like for Amigos and that kind of stuff, but they only had the brackets on this side of the compressor. So this one works. I'll put a link and everything in there. So then I, went to my mechanic, got them to evacuate the system, came back home with it, removed the compressor, installed this compressor, which you'll see in the video, recharged it again, and it wasn't really, and I did the same thing. It held vacuum. I recharged it again, and the other junction at the condenser was leaking after my test drive, and I was like, God, that's terrible. So then I took it to VIP because my mechanic couldn't get me in. VIP then evacuated the system, replaced the O-rings, double checked everything, and then recharged it for me, and it's blowing ice cold now. So all in all, I still fixed the compressor, but I missed one leak. But yeah, no, it was like a 3 recharge situation here. Got it done yesterday, leaving tomorrow night. So that's the end of the video. But I want to go ahead and attach some footage of me doing the floors and those things, like some random things I've done in the meantime before this. And then I'm going to do a follow-up video to this with a few more things I'm going to do to get the camper road trip ready, maintenance things, and then, to take you along on the trip, see how everything works out. So stay tuned for that video. So I'm going to wrap this video up here with, again, the footage of me doing the floor and the ceiling, maybe some cabinets and things like that. And yeah, thanks for watching. More to come. Thanks. All right, we're making good progress on the camper. So right now, my job is I'm going to take up all this garage flooring stuff that I've had in here for 4 years. It served a great purpose, and it was going to be my floor, but now I'm going to put vinyl plank tug and groove down. So I'm going to peel all this up and use it as a template to cut out a little pad, a vapor barrier, and like a slight bit of insulation to go underneath the vinyl planking. Well, the wood looks pretty good still. That's a good sign. All right, now I can't step in here or my shoe is going to get stuck. Ton of ants on here now already. Cool, so we got the floor all insulated with the smart core thing down, all taped up around, and now it's time to actually lay the floors planks. So I cut all these out. Those are a 1/4 inch piece of plywood I cut down into little spacers, so we get a 1/4 inch around the whole perimeter for expansion. I have 2 boxes. I think 2 boxes will be plenty of planks for me. So I'm pretty sure it goes tongue to the wall and groove to the back. So put spacers in. I believe you just like lift it in. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so here with the spacer on the wall, we are smack dab at 11 inches. Okay. So I'll measure right off this edge, not the tongue, but the edge of the plank that will be facing up. Okay, so right at 11. All right. I got it in there, so I just came here to test it, and I got it to fit in good, and I'm not going to undo it to show it on camera. But I'm going to grab the piece that I just cut off and go do it to start it for the second run. So just to let you know, this is 11 inches. They recommend at least 8 inches of a piece. So that's good to go. All right, so this is the piece we just cut off. And then let's test to see if it'll be good to go here. Oh, I never have everything I need at once. I just got to measure this to make sure it's at least 8 inches. Yeah, 11 1/4. Great. easy. Alright, so finished. Sorry I didn't film a lot of it, but it's too hot. I'm getting frustrated. But it came out good. I used exactly 2 boxes for this. Messed up 1 board. So yeah, next is I need to get the right size backer rod or whatever it's called. I need a 1/4 inch to go around all the seams and then silicone it. So I'm gonna do that another day. But yeah, the floor's in. It's nice and quiet. I feel good about it. Alright, so I started cutting out all the trim. I haven't glued or nailed it in yet. But I just wanted to get this going before I start filming. Alright, so that went in nice. Already measured it nice. Now to get this little back corner and then finish up this transition piece, which I don't have a great plan for, but I'm just going to glue this piece of aluminum angle in and then sand down a new piece of 1/4 round to somewhat make it look smooth. We'll see how it comes out. Alright, so the floor is done for the most part. I just have to do a little black silicone right here. But yeah, the trim came out as good as I thought it could with my level of skill on that. Alright, I didn't film doing the ceiling very much, but here's a couple pieces, or a piece, that just broke as I was trying to get it in, so it'll be in 2 pieces, but it'll look fine. Nice. And then this piece will tie it together.